All right, so get this. Luka Dončić
Luka Dončić
is now a Los Angeles Laker.
Wow.
Anthony Davis, sporting a Dallas Mavericks jersey.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I know, right? This trade, I mean, it sent shockwaves
Huge.
through the entire NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving. Like, fans and analysts just scrambling to figure out what it all means.
Yeah.
So today, we're going deep on this seismic deal, exploring how it might just reshape the future of the league, right?
It's wild.
It's nuts.
I mean, what's truly captivating about this trade is just the sheer audacity of it all.
Yeah.
We're talking about two young superstars, I mean, each capable of carrying a franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Switching teams in their prime. This
Right.
wasn't a minor roster tweak. No. This was a tectonic shift, like in the balance of power.
Yeah, for sure. So let's break it down for our listener.
Okay, yeah.
Can you walk us through just the specifics of the trade, like who went where, what else was involved?
All right. So in the simplest terms, Luka Dončić is now a Los Angeles Laker. Anthony Davis is a Dallas Maverick.
Yeah.
But the deal, it involved more than just the two players.
Okay.
So Dallas also received the Lakers' 2027 and 2029 first-round draft picks, and they swapped their 2028 second-rounder for the Lakers' 2026 second-round pick.
Wow. Those draft picks are valuable, like especially in a league where young talent is king.
Huge, yeah.
So what was the motivation behind this for both teams? What were they hoping to achieve?
Well, the Lakers are clearly in win-now mode.
Yeah.
I mean, pairing Luka's incredible playmaking abilities with LeBron James, even in the twilight of his career, creates a potentially unstoppable offensive force. They're looking to add another championship banner, AST.
Makes sense. But doesn't that create, like, an interesting dynamic? I mean, LeBron is known for controlling the ball.
For sure.
Can we really expect two ball-dominant players to coexist effectively on the court?
Oh.
Like, is that going to work?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
On paper, it looks fantastic. But the real test will be their chemistry on the court. It'll be fascinating to see how Coach Ham manages their roles and playing time.
Speaking of fascinating,
Yeah.
even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver felt compelled to comment on this trade.
Really?
And he rarely does that.
That's true. He usually stays above the fray when it comes to individual trades, but this one was clearly too big to ignore. He actually chose to address it on the Pardon My Take podcast.
Pardon My Take?
Yeah, a rather unconventional platform for a commissioner.
Okay, that definitely piqued my interest. A comedy sports podcast?
Right.
What exactly did he say?
He emphasized two main points: competitive balance and player empowerment.
Okay.
While acknowledging the magnitude of the trade,
Right.
he defended it as a natural outcome of teams and players exercising their rights within the league's current system.
I see.
He seemed to suggest that player empowerment is simply the reality of the modern NBA.
So he's actually saying this is the new normal.
Exactly.
But does this trade actually make the league more or less competitive? What do you think?
It's a complex issue.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you have the Lakers, already a strong team, adding another superstar.
Right.
On the other hand, Dallas is now positioned for a potential rebuild around Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So did the Lakers get too powerful?
Yeah.
Did Dallas get enough in return? It's too early to say for sure.
You mentioned Dallas potentially rebuilding around Anthony Davis. Isn't he injury prone, though?
Oh, he is.
Like, that's a risky gamble for a franchise to take.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Davis's health has always been a concern. Dallas is betting that he can stay healthy and become the cornerstone of their franchise.
Okay.
But it's a gamble, no doubt. They're essentially banking on his potential rather than his proven track record.
Right. Okay. So we've talked about the team dynamics, but what about the players themselves?
Yeah.
This is a huge change.
Oh, yeah.
For both Luka and AD. How did they react to the news?
Their initial statements reflected a mix of emotions. Excitement for the new challenge, some understandable nervousness, and a sense of gratitude for the previous teams.
Yeah.
Luka specifically mentioned the honor of playing alongside LeBron James.
That's awesome.
And AD emphasized his desire to lead the Mavericks to a championship.
Oh, wow.
You know, he actually said, "I'm ready to embrace the challenge of being the guy in Dallas." It'll be interesting to see if he can live up to that ambition.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting you bring that up because it reminds me of other superstar trades in NBA history.
Oh, yeah.
This Luka AD deal, it just seems to echo some of those major shakeups that Like reshape the league's landscape.
Absolutely. We're talking about moves like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the Lakers in 75.
Okay.
Shaq to the Heat in 04.
Nice.
Even Kevin Durant joining the Warriors in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Each of those trades had a profound impact on the league.
For sure. So for our listener who might not be as familiar with those historic trades, can you give us a quick rundown of their significance?
Sure. So Kareem's move to LA brought them multiple championships and ushered in the Showtime era, like a period of fast-paced, exciting basketball that captivated fans worldwide.
Showtime, yeah.
Shaq's arrival in Miami gave them their first ever title and established them as a force in the Eastern Conference.
And KD's move to Golden State.
Yeah.
Well, that created a dynasty, right?
It did, although it also sparked a heated debate about super teams and competitive balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Some argue that super teams, while exciting to watch, can stifle competition and make the league less interesting.
It's that age-old question.
Right.
Parity versus star power. Fans love seeing stacked teams.
Yeah.
But is it at the expense of a level playing field?
Exactly. And this Luka AD trade throws fuel on that fire.
Oh, for sure.
It'll be interesting to see how the league adapts to this new era of player movement.
Speaking of adaptation, Adam Silver also mentioned the 2025 Paris Games when discussing this trade.
The Paris Games.
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a leap
to
connect a blockbuster trade to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Can you help us understand that connection?
It might seem like a stretch at first, but it actually makes a lot of sense when you consider the NBA's global ambitions.
Okay.
The Paris Games are a massive opportunity to showcase the league to an international audience. And Luka and AD are two of the most popular players worldwide.
I see. So having these international superstars on prominent teams playing in a high-profile event like the Olympics.
Precisely. It's a marketing dream. The NBA can leverage their global appeal to further expand its international fan base. Remember that game in Paris between the Spurs and the Pacers? The one where the crowd was going absolutely bonkers?
Yeah, I remember seeing the highlights. The atmosphere was electric.
Silver was actually at that game.
He was there.
And he specifically said that the NBA is a global game, and we want to continue to grow our fan base around the world.
Okay, so it seems like this trade isn't just about two teams and two players.
No.
It's about the NBA's strategic goals for international growth as well.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another crucial aspect of this trade, the financial implications.
Oh, right. We haven't even touched on the money side of things.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for us?
Yeah.
What kind of financial impact will this trade have on both teams?
Well, one of the most interesting aspects of this trade is that the Mavericks managed to gain significant cap relief by trading away Dončić's massive contract.
I see.
This gives them a lot more flexibility to build their roster around Anthony Davis.
So they're essentially freeing up money to potentially sign other key players.
Exactly.
That makes sense. But what about the Lakers?
Yeah.
They're taking on Luka's huge contract.
Right.
Doesn't that limit their options?
It does.
Yeah.
But they're clearly betting on the fact that Luka's talent is worth the financial commitment.
Okay.
They're hoping his arrival will bring championships and boost their revenue through merchandise sales, ticket sales, and increased brand value.
It's a high-stakes gamble for both teams, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. The Mavericks are taking a risk on Anthony Davis's health and hoping they can build a contender around him.
Right.
And the Lakers are going all in on Luka and LeBron coexisting and leading them to a championship.
It's fascinating how this one trade has sparked so many questions and potential scenarios.
That's what makes it so compelling. It's not just a transaction. It's a catalyst for change across the entire league.
It really makes you think about the power dynamics in the NBA. It really makes you think about the power dynamics in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Two teams can make a deal like this, and suddenly the entire landscape shifts.
Yeah.
What does this say about the current state of the league?
Well, it highlights a fascinating tension that has always existed in the NBA, you know?
Yeah.
A push and pull between the desire for competitive balance and the reality of player empowerment.
Right.
Teams want a fair shot at a championship.
Yeah.
But players also want the agency to choose where they play.
For sure.
And with whom they play.
Totally.
This trade is a prime example of that dynamic in action.
And it's not just about the players, right? The teams themselves are making bold moves.
Oh, yeah.
Taking calculated risks to try and achieve their goals. I mean, think about the Lakers.
Right.
They're betting their future on Luka and LeBron meshing well together both on and off the court.
It's a gamble, no doubt. There's always the potential for clashing egos or stylistic conflicts when you bring together two superstars with such distinct personalities and playing styles.
Right.
But if it works, if they can find a way to coexist and complement each other's strengths, the Lakers could be looking at another dynasty.
And then you have the Mavericks. They're facing a whole different set of challenges.
Totally.
They've essentially hit the reset button, hoping to build a new era around Anthony Davis.
It's a fascinating strategic shift for them.
Yeah.
They've gone from contending for a championship to focusing on long-term development. And they've placed a huge bet on Anthony Davis's ability to stay healthy and lead their franchise.
It's almost like two parallel narratives unfolding simultaneously. The Lakers chasing immediate glory with their star-studded duo. And the Mavericks patiently building for the future.
It's a perfect illustration of the cyclical nature of the NBA. Dynasties rise and fall, teams rebuild and retool, and new stars emerge to challenge the established order. This trade is just another chapter in that ongoing saga.
It makes you wonder what's going through Luka's and AD's minds right now. They're both incredibly talented players at pivotal points in their careers. How will this trade shape their legacies?
That's the human element that makes this story so captivating.
For sure.
We often focus on the strategic and financial aspects of trades. But at the end of the day, it's about real people pursuing their dreams and facing immense pressure to succeed. Luka now has the chance to learn from one of the all-time greats in LeBron James, while AD has the opportunity to prove he can be the undisputed leader of a franchise.
It's going to be fascinating to see how they both adapt to their new environments and the challenges that lie ahead.
Absolutely. This trade has thrown a wrench into everyone's predictions. It's disrupted the status quo and created a whole new set of variables. The NBA is a dynamic, ever-evolving ecosystem, and this trade is proof that anything can happen.
It reminds us that even in a league driven by statistics and analytics, the human element remains the most unpredictable and compelling factor. The emotions, the aspirations, the rivalries, these are the things that truly make the NBA such a captivating spectacle.
You're absolutely right. And that's why this trade is so much more than just a transaction. It's a story about ambition, risk, and the pursuit of greatness. It's a story that will continue to unfold in the years to come, and we'll all be watching to see how it plays out.
Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the Luka AD trade, a trade that has sent ripples throughout the NBA and left us all pondering the future of the league. We've explored the motivations behind the deal, the potential implications for both teams, the historical parallels, and the human stories at the heart of it all. But this is just the beginning.
For sure.
This trade has set the stage for a new era in the NBA, and we can't wait to see what unfolds next.